life doesn't just happen on the weekends. So being able to handle any kind of responsibilities I've got at home around obviously work life is a huge benefit to me. So I work across a couple of sites. I work across both our London office and our Peterborough office, but I also work at home 1 day a week. Being able to work at home on a Friday means I can actually do the school run once a week and actually pick my daughter up from school, which is it's a great thing to be able to do, and it's not something I had the opportunity to do in my previous job. But there's also that kind of culture is already in place to actually kind of expect the fact that, you know, people will be working where best suits them, and so we're just set up to be able to enable that.
I've always been part-time ever since I started at BGL, which was 21 and a half years ago now. I started off very part-time when my children were very small, and the older they got, the less they needed me, the more I increased my hours. It was a really easy process. BGL were very accommodating right from the get-go. It makes me want to stay. I'm not so sure every company would be as accommodating as BGL, particularly as my hours are quite awkward, I would guess. I finish early on a Thursday and Friday, full-time Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I'm not sure that every other company would be so accommodating. Having a work-life balance is really important to me, and I have it.
So I work 2 days a week from Peterborough usually, sometimes 1, sometimes 3, but largely 2. 2 days in London, and I try and work from home once a week as well. And that gives me a good balance across the kind of different stakeholders, and it tends to be reflected by the meetings that I have in my diary, to be honest. It tends to work that way quite naturally. There's so much that you can do on video conference and on the phone, but actually I think nothing beats face-to-face, and particularly some of the meetings where I'm presenting creative work or working through plans to kind of roll your sleeves up meetings. It's absolutely crucial that we need to be there face-to-face, so it's a necessity in part. I think the other thing it does give is a really good sense of variety in your kind of working environment. So the idea of kind of clocking into the same place every day appeals to some people. For me, I really like to come into London. I like to get that sense of kind of variety of environments. So it works really well for me. I also think just having 1 day from home doesn't always work this way, but what I try and do is have a big chunk of time for sort of thinking time, stepping back, the things that you can't do when you're kind of fielding phone calls or you're in meetings, and I tend to be in meetings back to back when I'm in the office. The motivation is around part necessity and part sort of making sure that it sort of feels fulfilling and engaging at the same time.